Hey there, welcome to this Yoga for Climbing video. My name is Collie. Thank you so much for joining today. Hope you're doing really well. We are going to do a short class. It's going to be 30 minutes or so. We're going to focus on a few different areas. We're going to find some space in the groin and the side body, hopefully helping those kind of long reaches that you're doing with the hands and the feet. We'll think about strengthening up the body too, particularly core, muscles in the back, the forearms, the wrists, the hands. We'll play around with the balance a little bit. We'll think about maybe targeting any kind of lower back pain that you might be getting too. So a lot to get through. It's going to be short though, so 30 minutes or so, hopefully providing you with something that you're able to do little and often, just as a nice accompaniment to your climbing schedule. Very much open to beginners as well, so if you are new to yoga, hopefully this will be open to you as well. Of course, if there's any stuff that seems a little bit challenging, give it a go a few times, and hopefully you're gonna build up the knowledge, build up the strength, and you'll get a little bit more competent and confident over time. So all you need is your mat. We're going to start in a seated position. Let's begin. I recommend seated position with crossing your legs. Feel free, if this is not very comfortable at all, just take the legs out in front of you. You can relax there for a moment, but we will be sitting here for a couple of mins just before we get moving to find a bit of stillness. So it may be worth taking any movement into the shoulders, give them a roll. You can shake out the hands or give some movement into the head and the neck. And then when you're ready, find somewhere where you're able to keep your body still for a moment. We want to think about sitting up tall, so puff up the chest, crown of the head nice and high, spine tall, and then maybe you can relax your shoulders down. And then feel free to keep your eyes open, or maybe close them if you'd like to. And I recommend taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, just to transition into the class and really to take a step back from what you were doing previously. You can make the third or the fourth one nice and audible. Really think about letting go and releasing a little bit of tension as you exhale. So nice big sigh out. And let's take a moment here just to enjoy a little body scan. Notice how you're doing today. Physically, what's going on. Just kind of scanning through the arms and the legs, the hips, the shoulders and the head. Any tension that you can flag up on, see if you can soften up. Maybe the jaw's kind of tense. You want to really think about softening up the entirety of the skin on the face. And then it might be worth checking in with your mental state as well. Just a little time to notice how you're doing today emotionally, and perhaps pushing that to one side if you can. For the next half an hour, all you need to worry about or think about is movement and how that movement feels for you. So let's take our attention to the breath now. And I recommend giving like 110% into the breath for a minute or so. Notice the inhale and the exhale. And just start to have a little think about how it feels to breathe. So maybe that's how it feels in the nose or the back of the throat. Maybe that's any sensations linked to the pressure change of the body as you breathe in. And then the pressure change of the body as you breathe out. And then also just noticing what parts of your body are moving as you breathe. Is it the lower belly? Is it the chest? Is it the ribs? And kind of just altering the biomechanics of the breath. So the lower belly is doing the work, the diaphragm is active, and your breaths are long and slow and deep rather than being quick and shallow and short. So maybe just 3 or 4 more breaths like that, nice and soft and slow. In and out of the nose. And really just allowing your attention, your focus, your mind, your concentration to be locked in to the breathing. Because we'll use it as our guide And we'll use it as a kind of grounding tool throughout the practice. So take as long as you need here. Hopefully you'll notice the body and the mind has slowed down a little bit. Feel slightly calmer, more grounded. When you're ready, we'll gently blink open the eyes. We'll take the hands down, and we're going to make our way to our hands and our knees on all fours. So no rushing getting there. As you bring the shoulders above the wrists and the hips above the knees, we're going to target the spine straight off the bat. Take a few cat-cow poses. Breathing in, softening your belly down towards the mat. Think about opening your chest forwards. Look forwards as well. And as you exhale, chin comes back in towards chest. Start to round the back. So the breath in, again, belly softens down. Open up the collarbones. And then with the breath out, suck in your tummy, push with the hands so your back is nicely rounded. A few more times. Breathing in, open out to your cow pose, and then breathing out, round the back into your cat. And really try and exaggerate both poses and try and move with the breath. So inhale, open out. Exhale around the back. Maybe there's kind of no real pause between the two, you're just gliding between cat and cow. Really good one to activate upper body, increase mobility of spine. And in your own time, let's take a seat. We're going to drop the bum onto the heels. Shake out the hands, get some blood flow going down to your fingertips. I'm sure you're aware of how to warm up your hands and your wrists given your climbing. It's always worth just kind of making sure that you go through it all. Maybe interlock the fingers here. You can trace the figure of 8 with the fists. You can think about flexing and extending the wrists by grabbing the other hand, just doing it. Maybe make sure you both do it on both sides. And then let's return to our all fours position, and we'll shift a little bit of the body weight from side to side, left hand to right hand to left. And then go ahead and play around with the position of your fingers. So you can point them out towards the sides, rock and roll, point them back in towards the body if you want something a little bit deeper. You could rock forwards and backwards. And then maybe if you wanted to take this one a little bit further, you could nudge the knees further away from the fingertips. You'll start to feel it a little bit deeper. Maybe even, if you want to challenge yourself, plank pose. It's a good one here. Take care of yourself. And then last little one, tops of the hands go down, palms facing up. Point your fingers in towards each other, and you could stay there. Again, a little rock from side to side, or bend your elbows, go down, clench fists, and then come back up as you straighten your arms. Release the fingers. A couple more times. Go down, clench fists, straighten arms, release fingers. One more time. And again, you may need to kind of take a seat and just shake the fingers out again. And then without further ado, we're going to take it towards our downward facing dog. So hands on the ground, toes on the mat, lift the knees, suck in your tummy as you lift your bum high. And I really recommend just kind of moving from here, pedal the feet, bend one knee, straighten out the other leg, and push quite hard with the hands. Maybe one hand is a little bit harder than the other. Just think about weight distribution. You can think of your tail. Give it a decent wag from side to side. Sweep your knees and your hips. Shake them out. Could even take one leg to the ceiling just to notice how you're doing today. Notice how the legs are feeling. Bend the knee, kick heel to left sitting bone. Give the knee a little bit of a circle. Maybe ankle a turn. Could open and close the toes. And then do the same thing on the other side. Take your time with it, no rushing. And then as you come back to your downward dog, have a little look at your hands. Make sure the fingers are really wide. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. And don't worry about the knees. Feel free to bend them quite a lot. Don't worry about your heels heading down towards the ground. Once you're in place, relax the face. Maybe even close your eyes. And let's reconnect with the breath here. Take a long breath in and a long breath out. And on the next inhale, come onto the tiptoes of your feet. Gently ripple forwards, so you're bringing your shoulders above the wrists. Look slightly forwards as you do, and then drop the knees. Let's relax the tops of the feet on the mat. Lower chest and chin all the way down. Find a cobra, so we're pressing with the hands and the tops of the feet as we lift the chest. First time in the pose, you may want to stay here a little bit. Just check in with how your lower back is feeling. Could look left, look right. Give the shoulders a roll, and then push back. We'll take it to our child's pose. So bum on heels, and then just lift up to your downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. Tiptoes first, ripple forwards, shoulders above wrists, look slightly forwards, engage core, squeeze glutes, and then let's drop the knees, relax feet, chest and chin go down. Breathe in to lift up, and then breathe out as you push back, down dog. Take your time, no need for rushing. 1/3 and final time. Breathe in to come forwards, high plank. Breathe out as you drop knees, relax feet, chest and chin. And then full inhale, lift the chest fully. And then full exhale as you push back. That movement particularly, you want to kind of take your time with it. No need to rush, just ease in. And then back to our downward facing dog, thinking of our alignment. Arms nice and straight, parallel. You want to suck in your tummy, make sure your core is engaged. Relax your head. Take a long breath in and a long breath out. In your own time, let's take the right leg towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. You can look forwards and step in between the hands. Now, of course, if the foot doesn't make it, just shuffle it forwards. And then drop the back knees, we're coming into a low lunge. Lift the arms above the head. You can stay here as long as you need. Really decent stretch for the hip flexors on the left side here, the muscles in between the upper and the lower body. You might want to shuffle the right foot forwards a little bit to go deeper into the hips. You can scoop your chest up towards the ceiling. Maybe even look towards the hands. And then in your own time, hands go down, step back to your plank. Again, look forwards, drop knees, relax chest and chin all the way down. Full breath in to lift up, squeeze the glutes. And then as you exhale, push back, down dog. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Left leg high with the inhale. Step forwards with the exhale. Try and make it light and soft. Drop the back knee. Inhale to lift up the arms. Relax the shoulders. Stay here as long as you need. Try and keep the left knee above the left ankle. Look up high and then sweep hands down. Step back plank. Core engaged. Drop knees, chest, chin, all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Lead with the heart. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. We'll take similar moves, lifting the right leg up with the breath in. Step forwards with the breath out. Try and make it really nice and light. Now let's keep the back knee off the ground this time, and we'll find a high lunge. So you're going to squeeze your thighs together as you lift up the arms. Core is engaged. Now again, keep the right knee above the right ankle here. You can relax the shoulders, biceps next to the ears. If you want to take it a little bit further, you could bend the left knee and hover the knee off the ground before straightening the left leg. Bending the knee and then straightening the leg. Just a couple of times really kind of strengthens the hip flexors as well as stretches. Look up towards your hands and then lower them with control. Step back plank. Drop knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale as you push back, down dog. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. No rushing, left leg high. Step forwards, trying to make no sound whatsoever as the foot touches the ground. Press both of your feet into the mat as you lift up. And again, you want your core to be engaged here. Thighs squeezing in. Stay there. Take your time to get your balance before bending the right knee and then straightening the leg. Bend the knee and then straighten. Try and do it 3 times. And then super controlled as you lower the hands down to the ground. Make sure your fingers are wide as they touch the mat. Step back plank. Knees, chest, chin. Try and dig the elbows into the ribs as you lower yourself. Little squeeze of the glutes as you lift your chest. And then push back. Downward facing dog. Taking a moment here just to let the body catch up a little bit. Notice how you're doing. Any changes in the breathing, try and smooth and soften it out. Have a look at your fingers, make sure they're really very wide. Press quite hard on the fleshy bit at the base of the thumbs. And then in your own time, let's take the right leg up towards the ceiling. With the inhale, gaze forwards, step in between the hands. Lift the arms above the head and we'll come into a high lunge. And this time we're going to build on it by opening out into our warrior two. So back foot goes down as the arms sweep wide. Kind of right arm extending away from the left arm and left away from the right in equal measure. Make sure the right knee's above the right ankle. So you're kind of going deep into the hips here and left foot active. Take the gaze over the right hand. Let's flip the palm and we'll reverse our warrior. You could lean forwards first and then reach high with your right arm. Left hand, left thigh. Nice little support there. And then see if you can really take the right fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. You can start to feel a nice kind of stretch for the intercostal muscles in between your ribs. And then keep the deep lunge in the right knee. Look up high, breathe. When you're ready, cartwheel your arms down to the ground. Step back to your plank. And this time, as you hover yourself all the way down, we're going to find a locust pose. Relax the hands down by your sides. And then lift the thighs, the knees, the feet. And then maybe the arms, the elbows, the shoulders off the ground. Now, of course, the core is going to be squeezing a little bit here, but I really want you to focus on the muscles in the back. Slight pinch of the shoulders towards each other. Breathe. And then relax on down. Hands under the shoulders, push back. Downward facing dog. And we'll glide straight into it on the other side. Left leg high. Step in between your hands. Breathe in as you lift up the arms again. Thighs together, core engaged. Breathe out as you open it out to your warrior two. And you may want to think of the feet here lining up the heel of the left with the arch of the right. Again, left knee above left ankle, perhaps pushing the knee towards your little toe. Relax your shoulders, look forwards, and let's flip the palm and we'll reverse our warrior on this side. Lovely pose, kind of strong but also nice and elegant. Keep the left knee strong and then lift the left fingertips a little bit higher. Try not to crash down onto the right side of the ribs. In your own time, exhale as you cartwheel your arms down, step back to your plank, and we'll hover ourselves down, knees, chest, chin, arms down by your sides, locust, breathe in as you lift arms and thighs and feet, look slightly forwards, see if you can hold it for a little bit longer, and then push back once you're ready to your downward facing dog. And we'll take a breath in through the nose, let it out through the mouth. And when you're ready, take the right leg high. Look forward, step in between the hands again. Again, core engaged, lift up the arms. High lunge, open it out to your warrior two. So think back foot down at the same time as the arms sweeping wide. You can look over the right hand, take a moment to steady yourself. And then interlock the fingers behind you. We're going to shuffle the right foot all the way up towards the right. Take a moment, breathe in, puff up the chest. As you exhale, we're going to take our humble warrior, so right shoulder just inside the right thigh. So there's quite a lot of weight being pressed on the right foot here. Make sure you're continuing to press down hard on the little toe of the left foot, that outside of the foot. Breathe, relax the head and sweep your arms up and over it. Try and soften the face. Breathe slowly, challenging pose. And then relax the hands down onto the ground. We're going to take a lunge dog from here, so keep the feet where they are. Back foot, sole of the foot is down. Reach your arms towards the front left corner of your mat. And then see if you can kick your bum and your hips to the back right corner of your mat. Maybe palms are down or maybe just fingertips. Reach a little bit longer. Keep the legs strong. Breathe before coming back into the center with the hands. And then we're going to take our hands all the way over towards our left foot at the back of the mat. Bend the left knee, Skandasana, side squat. Right leg is straight. You can point the toes of the right foot to the ceiling. Left heel might be down, mine definitely isn't. Don't worry so much about it. You can take the left hand out in front of you and then lift the right arm up. So we're opening the chest. It's a really decent stretch for the inside of the right leg here. Take your time and then lift the right arm up. And you could do exactly the same thing on the other side. Walk the hands to the right foot as you bend the right knee, so the left leg straight, and then do the same thing there. In your own time, come back to center. So we're going to swivel, we'll face the front of the mat, and then step back to our plank. Once you're there, right hand comes into the middle of the mat. Make sure your fingers are very wide. Roll onto the right side of your right foot and then stack your left foot on top of the right. So we're heading into a side plank here. Please feel free to drop the right knee if you need the support. Otherwise, if you're up for it, stack your feet, flex them, point toes towards your face. You want to tuck your belly, your pubic bone up towards your belly button. So there's a slight back bend, and then left hand high. Maybe even left arm forwards. Could lift left leg off right. Could, if you wanted to, play with your tree pose here as well. Have a play around with it. Don't forget to breathe, and then come back to your plank. And we'll take a vinyasa from there. Drop the knees, relax chest and chin, all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push back, down dog. And we'll lift the left leg high and step a little bit lighter, a little bit softer in between the hands. Think of the control in your arms as you lift them above your head, and then the similar control as you sweep them wide. And we'll take it to our humble warrior. So hands behind us, interlock them. You may want to shuffle the left out to the left. Just thinking about hips kind of facing the two front corners of your mat. Same thing with shoulders. Breathe in, lift up, crown of the head goes high, and with the exhale, forward fold. So you're taking the left shoulder inside the left thigh, and you really want to drive the right hip forwards and tuck the left sitting bone back. Arms up and over, relax the face, breathe slowly in and out of the nose, and then relax the hands down, and we'll take our lunge dog. So arms all the way over towards the right. So front right corner of the mat is your guide. Keep the left knee above left ankle and press down hard on the outside of your right foot. Relax the head. Breathe. And then we'll come back in with the hands and find our Skandasana side squat on this side. So you can walk the hands to the back of the mat as you bend the right knee. Left leg straightens, maybe left foot flex. Could take the right arm long and then lift the left arm. And then do the same thing on the other side. Maybe even gliding between the two. Could kind of think about nimbly just kind of bouncing between the two, just to get a little deeper into the groin each time. And then when you're done, let's swivel. We'll face the front of the mat. You can step back to your plank, and we'll prepare for our side plank on this left side. So left hand in the middle first, make sure your fingers are wide. Roll onto the left side of the left foot. Stack your feet, and then right arm is up. So slight back bend. You might want to bring a softness to the left elbow as well. If you micro bend it, you're going to find that the muscles surrounding those areas will probably engage a little bit more. Banana shape, lift the hips nice and high. Right leg off left. If you're up for it, maybe tree pose. And then think of your transition back to your plank being just as important as the poses themselves. So make it controlled. And then relax your knees, chest and chin go down. Inhale to a cobra. Full inhale, open your chest fully as you do. And then push back to your child's pose, and we'll hold it here for a moment. Nice position here just to really kind of find some space in the back, lengthen it out. You can take the arms out in front of you or take them down by your sides, whatever is comfortable for you. And see if you can relax the forehead on something. Maybe it's the mat, or maybe you can use a pillow with your hands. Wherever you are, take a moment to close the eyes and really bring a total softness to the body. So relax your shoulders, your forearms, your face. Just take a moment to notice how you're doing. Smooth and soften the breath. Just let the body catch up. It might be worth deepening the breath a little bit, taking the breath a little deeper into the lower belly, and then making sure your exhale is similarly long. A couple of breaths, staying. And then whenever you're ready, come back onto your all fours. We're going to take it to a puppy pose from here, shoulders above wrists again. Let's try and keep the bum and the hips above the knees, and then walk the hands out to the front of the mat. Once your hands are as far as they can go, allow your chest to soften down to the ground, keeping your bum high. And it could be chin to mat, look forwards. Or maybe if that's not very comfortable or inaccessible, relax the forehead down. Wherever you are, there's quite a decent kind of bend in the back going on, a really nice opening in your chest. Shoulder muscles, bit of stretch going on for some of them. Take a moment to breathe into whatever you feel in this pose, releasing a little bit of tension as you exhale. Before coming back up, we'll meet on our all fours. Nice one. Let's come up to our downward facing dog. And we're going to take a step or a jump to the front of the mat. Tiptoes first. Go ahead and bend your knees quite a lot. And if you're up for it, think of a nimble, kind of light jump to the front. Once you're there, shuffle the feet in towards each other. We're going to find our chair pose. Nice little position to really strengthen up the glutes here. You can bend your knees, lower the bum. As you do so, sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. So as always, chair pose, thinking about that imaginary chair. Go ahead and really take a deep seat onto it. You may want to look down at your feet. Make sure your feet are together, make sure your knees are not covering your toes. So draw the knees back if they are. And look up towards your hands. Let's bring our hands towards our heart. We're going to enjoy a twist here, right elbow outside the left knee, chair twist. So continuing to find some strength in the glutes and the hamstrings, but then finding a bit of a twist in the spine. Perhaps easing any lower back pain. Also a big good strengthener there too. You can think about crown of the head extending away from the bum. Elbows stacked on top of each other, and then knees together. So you may want to look down at your knees, make sure the right knee is not sweeping around the left. Wherever you are, breathe softly. And then relax the hands down. You can shuffle your feet really wide. We'll enjoy a ragdoll pose here. You can bend your knees quite a lot. Allow your chest to smother your thighs, and then drop the head. So crown of the head goes down to the ground. And then from here you could brush the mat with your fingertips, or maybe grab the elbows and take a swing from side to side. Just to sort of loosen out the face, the head. Find some space in your spine as well as the crown of the head ventures down towards the ground. Before relaxing your hands, we're going to shuffle the feet kind of hip width apart before sliding hands underneath the feet. And we'll take it to our gorilla pose. Really good one for the wrists. Could be something you could do straight off the wall. Bend the knees a lot to get into it, so you may find it challenging on the hamstrings here, so just bend the knees a lot first, and then toes all the way up towards your wrists, giving your hands a very decent squeeze, moving the balls and the toes of the feet around the hands, massage the hands, and then maybe you can play around with straightening your arms and lifting the chest up a little bit, and feel hopefully a bit of release or some tension in the wrists. And relax it, take the hands out, and then uncurl. We'll come to a standing pose. Slower the better. Try and lift the head up last, and then inhale to breathe in to lift up the arms. We'll grab, once your hands are up the head, grab the right wrist with the left fingertips. Enjoy a little side bend here. Once you're there, sweep over to the left. Try and keep the hips stacked on top of the knees, on top of the ankles, and then come back up. Change grip, and sweep it over to the right. Chest open, not closed. Before returning to center, hands to heart. And we'll enjoy a little bit of balancing here. You can bring your right knee towards your chest. Flex your foot. It's going to help your balance. clearly didn't then. Grab your right knee, take your time with it. I recommend like taking it with both hands first, and then left hand, left hip. I'm going to take it to a tree pose, so right foot, left thigh, or left calf, whatever is comfortable for you. And you may find that you need to kind of shuffle around a little bit, shake out the legs, do what you need to do. Hands come to heart, or hands come above the head. Nice option here to find some length in the side body here as well. So you can bring pistol grip fingers into it, squeeze your ears with your biceps, and then feel the sides of your body lifting towards the sky. Right knee, try not to cave it in to the left, so keep that active. And then notice left foot. Spread weight evenly across it. Breathe. A lot of things to consider. Keep your gaze steady. Find something to stare at on the ground or on the wall in front of you. And if you're really up for a challenge, close the eyes. See how long you've got in your tree pose, standing on one foot with the eyes closed. It's a really challenging position. Good one to practice. And when you're ready, just come out of it slowly. We're going to relax the foot down, and then inhale to lift the arms up high before forward folding. You can shuffle the feet together again. We'll take our chair pose. Knees bent, bum goes down, chest open, core is stretching out. Hands to heart. And this time we'll take the left elbow outside the right knee. So you want to stack the elbows on top of each other. Thumbs are almost kind of edging towards the center of the chest. Chest wants to be very open here. Could even look towards the ceiling. So you'd be looking up towards the ceiling with the left eye this time. Breathe, spine long, before relaxing the hands. And let's take the feet wide. Gorilla pose could be another option, an option to go into again. Go into it a second time, notice how it feels. Could go a little deeper into it, or grab the big toes with your middle and index fingers. Create some tension there, so the big toes pressing down on the fingers, and the fingers are pressing up on the big toes. Lift up the chest, flatten out the back, and then forward fold. A few times, lift up the chest, straighten arms, chest open, and then forward fold, bending elbows. One more time. And then maybe you could play around with straightening your legs if you want to tap into the hamstrings as well, but don't force it. And then relax, come out of it, uncurl, slower the better. Lifting the arms up, open chest, gaze towards the sky, and then hands to heart. And we'll bring the left knee up for our balancing on this side. Left foot flexed, grab the knee with both hands, stabilize yourself. It might even be worth finding that one spot now with your gaze. Right hand, right hip, and then left foot, right thigh. Once you're in place, hands to heart, maybe any variation you want. Cactus arms, good one to open out the chest. Hands above the head. Think about your right thigh pressing into the left foot here, as well as the left foot pressing into the right thigh. You're going to start to engage the muscles on the outside of the hips. Gaze steady, and then breath really soft. Notice what happens when you kind of wobble around. Notice what happens to the mind, what happens to the breathing. See if you can keep it super controlled and calm. And then similarly controlled, left foot going down. Try not to rush it, try not to slam it down. Breathe in, arms up, and then breathe out, fold over. Shuffle your feet really wide, and we're going to take it down to a yogi squat, pointing toes out towards the sides. Bend your knees in that direction, and then as the bum goes down, maybe you just want the hands there for support. Going quite deep into the hips here, so you may need the hands on the ground for support. You might have a block, or you might have a book or something you can just park up on under your bum. Heels, don't worry about them not touching the ground if they're not touching the ground. Whichever position you're in, this is a great pose for strengthening the feet and the ankles. So worth just kind of playing around with it, coming into it regularly, seeing if you can get a little deeper into it each time. Chest high, maybe elbows can open out the legs. Can find one spot to stare at here as well. Enjoy a couple of breaths. Test the focus. Tendency to want to just rush off to the next thing. Are you able to just find a moment here? Sit with your breathing, notice sensations, notice how you're doing. And then when you're ready, we'll take it down. So we'll take it down by taking a seat, hands on the ground. Might help you for a bit of support, and then you can drop the bum with control. And we'll find a similar pose for the groin, butterfly pose, bound angle pose. You can bring your feet together. Maybe you can shuffle the feet in towards the body, but if that is not very nice or inaccessible, take the feet long out in front of you. We're gonna flap the wings of the butterfly, your wings being your legs and your knees. Good one for kids yoga, this one. You can think about grabbing the feet, maybe opening the feet like a book so the soles are facing the ceiling. Whatever feels good. Or maybe even sliding hands underneath the legs, grabbing the feet there for a little bind. Wherever you are, gently move the knees, get into it slowly, up and down. Start off slow and then gain with a little bit of pace, and you can really kind of go wherever you want to go with it. Go really big, go small, whatever feels good. And slight puff up at the chest, sit kind of tall. And then when you're ready, we're going to fold over the legs. So again, shuffle the feet to a position that's comfortable. Hinge at your hips. Breath in, lift up the chest, and then breath out to fold. Just take it however far it will go. You may not be getting any distance at all. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about any end goal of kind of flattening down to the ground. Just go with what feels good for you. Listen to your body. Try and keep the chest up. Maybe the back of the neck can be flat. Collarbones broad and open. And then when you're ready, come back out. And we're going to take it down onto the ground, back onto the back. But first, a little bit of core drillage, core exercise. Bring the knees, want to grab the backs of them. We're going to bring them together. Bring your feet together, squeeze your thighs in. You can stay here balancing on the bum. Boat pose, Navasana. Feet high, shins parallel to the mat. Again, stay there if you want to. Really squeeze the thighs in, or take the arms out in front of you. You can spread the toes, spread the fingers, or come with me. Breathe in to straighten out your legs, go low, keep the back off the ground, and then breathe out to come back up, so the knees are bent again. Hip flexors doing the work here. Inhale, stretch them out. And then exhale, engage to sweep the knees in towards chest. A couple more times, breathing in, go low. Breathing out, come back up. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Extra little challenge if you're up for it. Go low, paddle the feet. Keep your toes active, the fingers active as well. Most importantly, keep your breath soft. And then come back up. See if you can enjoy your boat pose one final time. And then lower yourself down with control. Don't go ahead and slam the body. Keep the control there. And let a satisfying breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And take any movement here that feels good for you before bringing your left knee up towards your chest. And we'll enjoy just a restorative close. Supine twist. Grab hold of the knee with the right hand and sweep your left arm out to the left. I really recommend shoulder, elbow and wrist touching the ground, and then take the knee over to the right just as far as it will go before the left shoulder sweeps up off the ground. So if it has come off the ground, bring the knee back up, park it down, and then draw the knee just as far as it will go. You can look over to your left hand, increases the twist a little bit. Keep your right leg straight, keep your neck long, and soften your breathing here. Can stay as long as you want. Nice restorative position. Decent stretch out for the glutes. And then coming back to center, so rolling onto your back, and we'll do exactly the same thing on the other side. Right knee will be taken with the left hand, and you can sweep your right arm out to the right. And you may find that you need to shuffle the hips back into the middle of your mat. To accommodate this, chest really wide, really open. Right arm, take it out to the side, and then maybe look that way as well. Use this pose to reconnect with your breathing and challenge your focus as well. So can you cover the entire breathing cycle with your attention to catching the breath when it begins and staying locked into it all the way through the inhale, seeing the transition into the exhale and seeing it all the way through, and then just beginning the cycle again as the inhale begins again. And you can start to pair a release or a softening or a letting go each time the breath leaves the body. And maybe some tension in the glutes here or the belly. Maybe some mental tension, anything you want to let go of. Nice one to release with the breath. And come back to center, and we'll take any last little movements you want to take. Knees into chest, maybe you can give your legs a little squeeze, wrap your arms around the legs and grab your elbows. Maybe a little rock across your back, might feel good for the muscles in the back to massage them out. Maybe even groin territory again, happy baby. Knees out wide, feet high, hands on backs of knees or hands inside feet. Don't force it. Just go with whatever feels good and accessible for you. Thighs drawing down towards ribs, but feet high. Could even grab big toes and straighten out your legs, if that is available. Otherwise, come back to center, knees into chest, one final squeeze. Forehead to knees, knees to forehead. And then release, relax. Sprawl your legs down to the ground. You can sprawl your arms. And let's take a well-deserved rest here. Starfishing, starfish shape. You can enjoy a minute or two to completely let go. Nice deep breath in through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Close your eyes. And just allow the arms and the legs to sink into the mat. Notice any kind of temptation to fidget. Try and resist it. Notice the face, soften the jaw, the temples, the brow. And then let go of any control you got of the breath as well. Just let it flow naturally. And as you find this stillness in the body, try and channel a similar stillness in the mind as well. Just make sure you stay focused and just wary of any kind of wandering off that the mind might do. If that's the case, take your attention back to the breath. Sharpen up your focus by noticing how it feels to breathe. Ultimately, enjoying a rest. Of course, if you have a little bit longer, please feel free to enjoy your Shavasana pose. Otherwise, just some gentle movements to come out of it. Fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Full body stretch might feel good before rolling to one side. And let's be in a seated position where we began. Again, find somewhere that's comfortable for you. Bit of a roll of the shoulder, shake out of the head, the jaw. Might be worth just noticing how the body feels in comparison to where we were at the beginning of the class. Nice one to close the eyes, check in with what's going on mentally. hopefully there's a bit of space inside the body and the mind, making room for whatever comes your way for the rest of the day, and just thanking yourself for your practice. Thanks for joining me. Namaste. Take it very easy. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you got something out of it. Like I said earlier, could be something to do little and often, just to add a little bit of variety into your regime when it comes to climbing. If you feel that this has benefited you, please do pass this vid on to anyone else that you might feel would enjoy it as well. There's loads of videos up on my website, so please do have a browse around. Could be something else up there for you. And stay tuned for more Yoga for Climbing videos, which will be coming soon. You can come over on Instagram at Mr. Collyman. Say hello there if you would like to. Hope to see you soon. Whatever you're up to for the rest of the day. Hope it's a good one.